Hey guys, Chris Rathmore, Fit to Nottingham, personal training and fatattackfitnesscamp.com. Just a quick video. I had sent out an email this morning regarding fad loss diets and calorie restrictive diets, and I had a great response from a load of guys. So I just thought I would do a quick video whilst I'm waiting to pick my little boy up from his childminder. So why I hate calorie restrictive diets. Can't stand them because they lull you into a false sense of security and a false sense of success, because you start one because you want to lose weight, and what happens is you reduce your calorie intake very quickly, and what happens, you look on the scales and all of a sudden your weight starts to fall. That thing, great, it's working, I'm getting all the success I want, and this is going to work for me forever. Really doesn't work that way. So let me just give you an example. So a female in general needs about 2,000 calories, this is in general terms, 2,000 calories in order to do daily activities like produce energy, to get to work, to play with the kids, all the rest of it, digest food, function the brain, that kind of thing. On a calorie restricted diet, you would maybe take in 500 calories, so you're reducing the amount of calories down quite significantly. That gives you a 1,500 calorie energy deficit in theory. Now, that in theory means that we're losing 1,500 calories of energy per day. Now that sounds fantastic, sounds like, oh, that makes sense, yeah, that looks really good. I'll be losing 1,500 calories worth of body fat or stored energy per day. However, it doesn't really work that way, unfortunately. So the body kind of, it senses that you've done this. So when you reduce the amount of energy you put into it that it uses to function properly, 2,000 calories is optimal nutrition for it, or roughly around there. So when the body is at optimal level, it can produce energy, it can function your brain, it can make you do this, that and the other, it can produce energy for exercise, it can make you stronger and faster and leaner and fitter and all the rest of things. When you massively reduce your calories, it can't do those things. So all it does, rather than actually use, kind of in theory what you would expect the body to do, is to use fat as energy. So when you massively reduce your calories down from 2,000 to 500, that 1,500 calorie deficit that your body has, most people presume that, oh, it's just going to start kind of burning off my waist, or burning off my thighs, or burning off my upper back, or all that stored fat energy, that can produce energy for me. It doesn't really do that. What it actually does is it actually down-regulates your metabolism. So it actually, rather than requiring 2,000 calories, your body just goes, well, if you're not going to feed me as much, I'm just going to reduce the amount of calories I actually need. So what it does is actually reduces the amount of calories down from maybe 1,000 or 500 or sometimes even less. Now that is a ridiculously bad position for your body to be in, because it's in theory slowing itself down. It's slowing down your metabolism. It's actually reducing the amount of brain function. It's reducing your digestive function. It's reducing your muscle contractions. It's reducing the way you can think, breathe, exercise. It's reducing everything, which is awful. Now, this is the point where you'll feel crap. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel lethargic. You're going to feel cold and grumpy and miserable and that kind of thing. It's just not in a good position to be in. However, what happens is the scales keep falling. So what we then do is we kind of keep looking at the weight on the scales, because we're still in this calorie deficit. We kind of go, well, how is the weight still falling on the scales? Now, that's also because your body still isn't burning fat. It's still down-regulating itself, and because it doesn't need energy anymore, the body's kind of gone, well, you've reduced it from 2,000 down to 500 calories a day. I don't need energy for exercise, because you're not going to be able to physically exercise. So what it does is it actually starts to burn the tissue, the muscle, the lean muscle tissue. That creates a big wastage of weight, because muscle is, as we know, quite strong, quite dense, and that then starts to reduce and reduce and reduce and reduce. So actually what your body does is it starts to get rid of its muscle tissue, because muscle tissue uses energy and requires energy. Now, because your body hasn't got any, it gets rid of it. So what it does is, if you look on the scales, again, your weight keeps falling, keeps falling, keeps falling. It's just because you're not burning fat, you're getting rid of muscle. So what happens is you look skinny, what we class as skinny fat. So you're probably getting towards to quite thin. However, as soon as you wobble your arms and everything, there's a load of wobble there. You're lethargic, you're tired, you don't like the look of your body, you've got no muscle tone, you've got the energy levels of an overweight pensioner, you're just not in a good situation whatsoever. What happens now is that you've probably hit your target weight, so you've dropped your couple of stone down, you've lost your muscle mass. You may have hit the target on the weight, but you've lost your muscle mass, you're tired, you don't feel good doing it, you're dying for a good meal. You hit your target when you think, right, I can go back to normal now. So all you do is you go back to normal, start eating your regular meals, and you start eating maybe 1,500 calories a day. What happens? all of a sudden the weight starts to increase, and it doesn't increase kind of steadily, it increases rapidly. It will go on so quickly because your body hasn't got anything, it doesn't know what to do with it anymore. You've down-regulated your entire system, you've got rid of your muscle tissue to increase your metabolism, your digestive system can't handle the increase of food, your brain power can't get it around the body, you haven't got enough digestive enzymes to flush everything through, so it goes into meltdown. The only thing you physically can do is store it as fat. So what happens when you go on these calorie deficit diets is you go down to 500 calories a day maybe. As soon as you start a new diet, bang, it all goes straight back on and then more. Now, when you go back to the weight you previously were, maybe 2 stone, 3 stone, whatever it was, it is then twice as hard to then lose the weight because you haven't got the muscle mass anymore. You've got a slower metabolism. Your body is entirely down-regulated. You're just fatter again. So by going through this consistent cycle, and many people do this over a period of 4 or 5 years, going through this consistent cycle is a totally false, crazy way to lose weight, and this is the whole reason I hate it. So what I end up dealing with is the people who have done this for 5 or 6 years and they've done the calorie deficit diets hugely, and I've got to the point where they're so tired and so miserable and so fatigued that they can barely get out of bed, but they still have the desire to want to be leaner. So these are the you guys, if you're one of these guys who listen to this now, you have to repair yourself and rebuild yourself. You've literally got to replenish everything you've done to your body. You've damaged your body. There's no other way to put it. You've damaged it, not permanently because it can be fixed, but you've damaged it so badly that you need to take a lot more time and then up-regulate everything. So you need to be eating clean, fresh food regularly. You need to be drinking plenty of clean water. You need to be taking essential supplements that are going to help to repair your immune system and repair your immunology and your endocrinology system. All these things have to be done consistently over a period of time to bring you back together. After maybe, this might take 3 to 6 months to actually get you back to feeling normal. You'll know because you'll start sleeping better, you won't be as grumpy, you won't be a horrible person to be around. All these things will take time. Once you actually up-regulate everything, then you can think about starting to lose weight again. Until you have eaten cleanly and healthily for 6 months, don't even think about starting another kind of type diet. You shouldn't even be on a diet ever again, really, because if you've gone through that cycle of losing weight, all up and down, you shouldn't ever need to be on a diet ever again. You need to control what foods are going into your body each time. That is when you need to go and ask for advice. Speak to a nutritionist, speak to a decent personal trainer, go and follow a really good fitness camp, and all of a sudden get yourself educated around why 500 calorie diets are absolute rubbish, and why they are doing nothing for you, and actually all that they're doing is just making you worse. So if you are one of these people who's been on one of these 500 calorie diets and you want some advice, please email me and I can speak to you about it. I can give you a call, we can email, and I can give you some help and advice on what you need to be filling your body with initially to start recovering from it. So I hope that's helpful. Any questions, fire them over to me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.